Hey folks, Chris here, and this might be the only Canadian whiskey that smokes like a Scotch, but tells a Pacific Northwest story. With only 300 bottles of this one, I am looking forward to sharing with you the McAloneys The Peat Project, a peated single malt whiskey aged in ex-bourbon. This is from their Peat Project series. It's a single cask, peated single malt, double distilled right here in Canada on Vancouver Island. But here's the twist. This malt was peat smoked in-house using peat from the Olympic Peninsula in Washington. So that is rare. But let's talk about peat for a second, especially because I don't usually review peated whiskeys often. I promise I'm going to start doing more, but peat is at the heart of what makes this whiskey special. Peat, for those who don't know, is partially decayed plant matter as well as my dad's name. Basically, prehistoric vegetation compressed over thousands of years. Depending on the region of the peat, it will range in type and concentration of different vegetation. In traditional whiskey making, especially Scotland of course, it was dried and burned to dry their barley or grains during malting. That locks in that sort of unmistakable aroma, the earthy, smoky, sometimes seaweedy, iodine-y. It's what gives many whiskeys, especially those from Islay, their signature taste. But in Canada, peat smoked whiskeys is incredibly rare. That's partly because we've historically focused on sweeter styles, but also there's a distinct lack of peat in Canada. For the peat we do have, it comes with environmental concerns now. It, of course, is a finite resource that regenerates really slowly. In some parts of the world, including Ireland and Canada, peatland ecosystems are actually protected and strictly regulated. So that's why this McAloneys is so unique. They're not importing peat from Scotland. They can't use peat from Canada. What they're doing is they're exploring the terroir of it as close to home as possible. This expression uses peat from the Olympic Peninsula in Washington, which is just south of Vancouver Island. And because they peat smoke their barley in-house, they control the entire process, from smoke to spirit. And when I say they do their peat smoking in-house, I actually mean in their parking lot. Yes, they have a large trailer, and they smoke it right there on site in the parking lot. No joke. The founder of McAloneys, Dr. Graham McAloney, is a Scotsman by blood. His distillery on Vancouver Island follows traditional Scottish methods. You've got the copper pot stills, locally malted barley, and peat smoking done right at the distillery. Inspired by his ancestry, Graham has built something that bridges both tradition and innovation, especially if you go and look at their whole lineup. This single cask clocks in at 54 ppm, it says, fennel parts per million, which is, I believe, similar to Ardbeg, which is usually around 50 to 55. So this would be considered a fairly heavily peated whiskey. It has been matured entirely in an ex-bourbon cask, letting that American oak sweetness blend with the earthy smoke. We're looking at 46% here, so let's give it a pour. So for all that peat, it's actually quite light on the nose. I'm getting honeycomb, like a fresh meadow with flowers, but like a sweet bonfire smoke. It's not overpowering. Very nice. Okay. It's creamy, a little oily. I like oily. And I'm getting stone fruits like peaches, something tart like overripe lemons. That smoke is definitely strong, but sweet. A little bit of iodine, but not a lot. I was actually expecting something much stronger, but this is a really nice, sweet, soft smoke. I'm getting a really dark, bitter chocolate. It's dry, chewy raisins. It finishes long with this lingering smoke and like a saltiness, that bittery dryness. Very different finish from the nose and the palate. So to me, this is a fireside whiskey. Grill up some lamb chops, smoke some Gouda, pour a glass of this, you're having a good time. So to wrap this up here, you might know I don't drink much peated whiskey, but from what I remember, this Washington peat is so different from the Scottish Islay whiskies like Laphroaig and Ardbeg with their iodine and medicinal peat flavors. If anything, this reminds me more of something like the Speysides do. I'm thinking the Balvenie 14, which has some florals in it, or something like Highland Park, which is more like a campfire smoke. Macalonies to me. I think this is thoughtful, terroir-driven, and layered. You get that Pacific air, the BC barley, the Washington peat, a beautiful Pacific Northwest expression. If you've tried anything from the Peat Project series, let me know. Or if you just want to see more of what Canadian single malts can do, let me know which ones I should check out next. Or maybe actually what peated whiskey should I explore next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.